Y'all see what I see. What it do, girl? It's not on her left side, but I know what it's about. What's the chance of them walking carrying a Walmart bag? All of them is carrying Walmart bags, y'all. They didn't phased it out, nah. First it was Target bags, but because I'll talk about it, but you know what? I ain't even mad at her because in my energy I can feel she need that money, baby. She need it, so I ain't even go after her like that. Because in my mind it said, because they always do it. Once I reveal what they do, they switch it. So for instance, when I said something about them used to be what you call it because the when I just parked right here, I saw the ambulance all of a sudden turn from down the street and then put their lights on and come behind me, and then they had no choice but to turn the siren off because this big ass truck was turning from a street back there on MLK, and it blocked them, so they couldn't even come and try to do the harassment the way they were trying to do it at first. That's the part that was hilarious. And then they turned the siren back on after the truck had turned, because I was gonna put my video on, but it's so much gang stalking I saw earlier today when I went to the PO box to get these boxes because they too big. I said I'm not finna get on the max with these big ass boxes and trying to push the stroller up my son too, because I didn't feel like trying to do all that. I said, I'm taking this vehicle and I got the paperwork for traveling. I'm not driving a vehicle. I'm traveling privately in my automobile. And I know about the constitutional rights, and they love to say they ain't a constitutionalist, but they already heard me reading off the paperwork that was sent to me from the packet that I bought from James C. Lovett, and he did finally respond to me. He didn't say nothing else about a consultation, which I doubt he'll say anything about the consultation, because he went up on the rates, but that's totally fine because as far as I know, he's pretty good. What the information he gives for free at that, so let alone what he talks about in private. But I'm just saying, due to me being gang stalked and him being a Mason who confessed online that he's a Mason, and me knowing what the dirty Masons do, no telling if they try to go and bribe him and give him a lump sum of money to not talk with me, because they can only imagine and know what type of information I might be trying to talk about with him. But I'm just trying to get information because I was working with this other Empire, but I'm not, and I just saw 555 on that blue Audi that went by, and it was 555 after I made the video down in what you call it. I saw it when I was at my PO box at UPS, at the UPS store, and that's why. Anyways, James C. Lovett, I was questioning if I wanted to work with him in the beginning again, anyways, because of me figuring out all this stuff that was going on, and then seeing him have the bad wolf sign over his left eye on his picture, and I was like, I don't know, because it seemed like lately all these people that's been gang stalking and these Masons and stuff, they've been doing stuff with the left hand, the left headlight, all this left stuff. And then in the entertainment industry, you notice how almost every celebrity covering their left eye, or they closing or winking with their left eye closed with their tongue sticking out, or doing the peace sign and doing all that stuff. There is symbolic. And that's what they do. Symbols do rule the world. Not rule it completely, but like how they said something about symbols ruling the world is true, because the symbols do have some sort of psychological effect and power to it. That's on another note, though. I'm not going to get into all that. But James C. Lovett, I wouldn't be surprised, because, money, people do need money now. So they ain't going to turn down on money, especially if they are queer and they don't like a woman, especially if I'm a melanated woman and it's a melanated man. Even if he's a half-breed mixed melanated man, because sometimes they still carry their melanated father's, disrespectful mindset about melanated women. So I've seen it in reality before, how that happens, like how it's passed down. Even though he's mixed, they have the dad's mindset or the mom's mindset if she's a European Caucasian woman, basically, and she's racist, but she don't like black women, but melanated women, but she want the melanated D, especially from the melanated men who don't like melanated women as well. So, not saying all of them are like that, but a large percentage of men that are with non-melanated women is because of that. They don't, and some of them have valid reasons, because some of these trifling melanated women out here, they be acting just like these melanated men. So some of them, that's why I totally get it, and I understand when they want something different. Because baby, I was feeling the same way. I was like, you know what, forget that. But yeah, I had done some more healing from my scars that I had from dealing all these years with melanated men betraying me and trying to tear me down. So some of the hatred that I had towards them, it dissipated much because I just know that it has due to the way I see the perceive those type of men. Like I don't put energy or effort into the hatred I felt towards them and the disgust and displeasure. I don't even need to. I'm just speaking out on what I experience and what I know from watching other people's experiences with that. But anyways, that all started from me talking about the James C. Lovett. Not sure if he got paid off or bribed at any kind of way. And of course he would go online and say he hasn't, but that's for discerning people. See, for instance, see that one headlight? They're starting to do it on the right side now. That's what I was trying to show, like when it's the left side. And I seen them do it already when I first spoke out about it, but I didn't speak out on it publicly. I don't think. On one video I did say like how most of the time it's on the left, but they'll switch up and do it on the right. And there was some meaning behind the ones that do it on the right versus the ones who are doing it on the left. I remember speaking out about that. And then they had Anthony Smith come and mess with my headlight after he was supposed to just be fixing my brakes. It dawned on me when he asked me to pop my hood. And that same night, that same evening, after he was finished, I noticed I had a feeling something was off. So I got out the car and I looked at the headlight and I saw that it was out. And it was the driver's side headlight that was on. So, or I should say the traveler side headlight. But yeah, so they be doing all kind of weird stuff like that. And now they got this other gang stalker trying to call me. Um, he didn't. I knew that. I already knew. Let me hang up. Now y'all can say I hung up because this time I did hang up. He's calling me back to back to back. Nope, I ain't dealing with none of y'all. It's an Ethiopian dude. I already knew that at the right time they was going to pull him out of their pocket to have him contact me. And just sure enough, he started calling me again. Nope, leave me the F alone. I don't go backwards, baby. So yeah, there's just way too much going on. The gang stalking that happened at that UPS store, it was unbelievable. Like at that one moment, as soon as I pulled up, two white cars pulling out. They usually don't have no spots in the front, but then they saw I didn't care about that no more. So that's when they tried to let two spots be available, and then all of a sudden a police officer, the same black police officer car that was backed up in the corner by Safeway. That night I made a video, a longer video of me talking about how they were backed up over by the Safeway store. That's in that same area over by that UPS store, just right around the corner in the same plaza, or plaza for some of you who say it differently. Yeah, so I was just trying to connect the dots to let you know how I know it was like a psychological harassment that they were doing by having that police just be parked there sitting there. Then when I got on camera and I went in the store and still was recording it, and I knew once I hung up the phone and not hung up the phone, but after I turned the camera off, he was going to leave. Just as sure as I turned the video off from that first short 1 minute and few second video, I heard the car crank up and then they took off, but I didn't see anyone sitting there at first. I wasn't quite sure. That's why on the video I remember saying I don't know if anyone's in there or not. But lately they've been messing with my phone where even they take parts out of my video that I say on my videos. Like they'll cut it short. And also when I'm have the YouTube channel going, like if I'm watching a video, all of a sudden they'll pause the video and I'll see it glitch, like somebody's controlling it from like not screen share, or like, you know how Team Viewer, you used to be able to hack somebody, like go and do stuff on their computer from a distance. Like you could be way somewhere else, but if you have that app like called Team Viewer, you could access their laptop, their desktop on their computer, and move the mouse around from your computer. And I remember that happening. That's why I know that they had technology like a decade or so, decades back. I just saw 666 on that Subaru, that dark gray Subaru. That's another thing. They use cars that's dark gray, not silver looking and like mine. But my car is technically green, they say. This is even on the title, but this is like, it looks like a light silver. But the dark gray cars are the ones that they use. And my dad has a dark gray Buick car that belonged to my mom before she passed away. And he had a red Mitsubishi Outlander, and my sister, she had a blue Buick excuse me, I forgot the name of those kind of turtle looking SUV cars. And then my mom had a red one that she let my other sister drive. And then they got to the black car. And then they also had white cars. Those are the main colors that they had of all cars. And that's the main colors that gang stalkers use for whatever reason. I don't know why they use them colors, like the red and blue. Like I'm talking about like the white and the gray. And I noticed something else I want to say really quick is how, oh, my son's asleep, but he's coughing. He's okay though. I heard something yesterday about the what you call it? There's someone doing a seal. They sealed the room to keep someone's spirit there or something like that. I remember when I went back to my parents' house briefly after my mom passed away, when I had the last day to stay in the Pepper Tree Inn Hotel in Beaverton, Oregon, through this company called Family Promise, who was also gang stalking me because she all of a sudden went on vacation. And that was another thing I was going to talk about, how all of a sudden the people who were supposed to help me, out of nowhere, they all of a sudden would go on vacation for about a week or two out of the blue. And it was a consistent pattern I've noticed across the board. Even one of the two of the attorneys that was working at Metropolitan Public Defender's office, I didn't figure out what it was about, but I knew spiritually, I picked up intuitively that there was something to that. Now, going back to what I was saying, excuse me. Well, anyways, I don't know if James C. Levitt is involved in this in any kind of way. I'm not trying to tarnish his character or say anything bad. That's part of the reason why I feel like he randomly out the blue quickly just sent me he sent the files that he sent before that I paid for in the past, but then he went silent again when I started talking about the consultation, because I paid for a consultation, but he charged $10 more than what he usually do, and this time it's only for 30 minutes and then for an hour it's $100. And I'm totally not complaining about the prices, because he definitely has good prices considering some other people out there who don't have it all together and know exactly what they're doing for sure. And I'm saying that because there's someone who I know has processes for things, but then all of a sudden they come back and tell you, oh, it don't work in this city, or if you blah blah blah, if it's in this state and you was born in this state, and you can't be sovereign in the state you was born in. I'm like, then how the hell? But I get it. Sometimes people, they learn as they go, but then all of a sudden they want to increase their prices and stuff. But you telling me some different information, but then we later go through the process and find out what you're using don't work for this situation. So like, come on, give us a little slack. But I ain't complaining, just that he still, for the knowledge that he shares and is intact and he knows what he's talking about, I feel like those are really good prices. Like he said that before in the past when he was only charging $50, and I think it was for an hour, not even just 30 minutes. So he's doing great. But I just wanted to share that information, guys, because the gang stalking increased after I started exposing some things, and this all started with that lady who got off the bus, and then she was making sure she walked past my vehicle, my automobile, with the that stuff is not gonna phase me anymore. So just know that these people, you can see the orchestration, because like I said, the same thing goes for the target bags. This is how retarded these people are. If you know that I'm seeing a bunch of people walking around the same vicinity with target bags, and you can tell they're doing it intentionally, if you don't, it don't matter if you use another company's logo to be a symbol, it's still gonna have the same effect, which means I'm still gonna intuitively know all y'all ratchet ass didn't come from Walmart, especially with the Walmart that y'all gang stalkers went and tore up. They didn't close that MFR down. So the closest Walmart is way somewhere by 80 off 82nd, and that's the one I think they have tore down. So how are you getting all the way from the next local Walmart, which is miles away, but all y'all are in this same area, close, not too far from downtown Portland, all in the same area of Martin Luther King Boulevard, walking with walking with the same Walmart bags. All y'all asked and all of a sudden decide to go to Walmart at the same time, just like when you was using Target bags. And I'm not saying that, I know, so I can hear someone now, they're saying many people go to Walmart, so of course a lot of people are gonna have it, but that's irrelevant. That little statement that you just said is irrelevant. There's absolutely no freaking way that majority of the people every single day are going to be walking around either with most majority of the time empty Target bags or empty Walmart bags. All majority of them carrying them on in their left hand. Most people are right-handed. Even when I grew up left-handed, and when I went to school, they forced me to use my right hand. Because I remember when I got the left-hand scissors and I was using my left hand, there was a woman that was a substitute teacher who forced me, and she was abusive to me too, which is another reason why I'm skeptical about leaving my son in daycare. Because I know how these teachers and substitute teachers be behaving to children when the parents are not there. And then when the parents arrive, they all smiling like, oh yeah, she was good. They were okay. They just have fun, They do this and they cry a little bit, yes, of course, but most of all, for the most part, they were good. Next thing you know, they over there pinching the shit out your kid, pulling them by their arm, yanking them, dragging them. Raggedy ass hoes. That's what was happening in Florida. And Florida ratchet. They even got some old ass people trying to move out of Florida because they had said Florida's no paradise anymore. I believe that. It's a lot of places that ain't a paradise no more because these trashy ass demons and these people. But yeah, y'all. I just wanted to share that. And chances are when I go back and look at this video, if I skim through it to see if I missed anything from that I may have forgotten, then I'll make another video like correcting myself, because I tend to sometimes digress and then skip over something and then get distracted and then go back. Just like when I saw the 555 on that car that was going by, and then it drew me back to when I saw 555 at the UPS store, that there was some sort of change after I got the video and started recording that officer that was there, and then they decided to leave quickly after that. And oh yeah, that's what I was talking about, how a bunch of kids, people walking with kids, they came at that parking spot where the other white car was coming out, they were backing out at the same time. That's how I knew it was something to that. And then I all of a sudden looked diagonal from those two cars, and then there's a police car parked right there. And that's why I had something on the back, a little piece of tag thing on the back, so they don't have a made up reason why they can say, oh, you don't have any plates on your car, what are you doing? So there. And plus I just needed to get there with the vehicle so that I could carry these big boxes instead of taking 2 hours to go down there and back to up here taking the MAX train, when I could just do it in a shorter amount of time. But yeah, because I already know y'all out here, you got criminals riding around freely anyway, so don't come trying to mess with me, act like I'm being so bad. And half the time, a lot of these people that got that little piece of plastic and that you call a license, they don't know how to drive anyway. They the ones going out here causing accidents, cutting people off, not using the turn signal, going real slow, leaving like 3 cars worth of a gap in front of them, and the rest of the freeway is going fast, but they cruising real slow. Instead of only giving tickets to the people that be speeding, y'all need to give tickets to the people that go way slower than the speed limit, just to F with people. Because I see that. I ain't really trying to talk like say people need to get in trouble, but I'm just saying, like, y'all doing all that stuff to mess with somebody like me, and the only thing you have against me is to do something in traffic, because I'm not doing anything else illegal, and according to y'all standards. And you ain't gonna just come to the car and tell me I'm driving. That's what y'all niggas be doing. That's why you say you're driving. No, don't fucking say that I'm driving, nigga. I'm traveling. Do it look like I'm for hire? Do it look like I'm traveling? Does it look like I'm being paid to drive on the commercial road? I'm not driving, I'm traveling. And people be like, oh, you guys are trying to do reverse psychology or some, how people be saying stuff, but they don't even know about those laws. So joke's on y'all. Just because you don't know about that right, and then you're afraid to assert, shut the F up and stop calling me. Because you're afraid to assert your right, you want to try to put people like us down. Just saw 111 on that trucks. Don't stop blowing my phone up, because I know why they're calling me. That's how I know, because when I needed that person's help, they just completely went silent, and they didn't call me for about 2-3 months. They just went completely silent. And I said, okay, that's all right. I know what you're doing, because when you do call me back, you ain't gonna hear not a word from me, and I'm gonna hang up, and I'm gonna change my number and block your number until I do change my phone number. and get a new phone. And by the way, they be looking at my phone, so they knew that I was about to get packages, and the one of the things that I was waiting for was there, so they knew they could see my screen. And I know they could see my screen because how else would you know to pause my video if you're not watching it? And I have the phone in the holder, and it does it several different times on different days. That's because y'all mugs is watching me from different ways, from different viewpoints. They hack my car, and don't ask me, just figure it out for yourself how somebody can hack your car. Come on now. And then they hack my phone through my emails. That's another way I forgot to say, how they don't just use the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to hack your phone. They also use your email address and your phone number to hack your phone. Crazy mugs. And then they got my lawyer begging me to go down there to the court. Told some of the court have child daycare too. I said I don't trust the daycare at the justice system, and if I find out they're trying to make the court go over too long, where I have to leave my son at daycare for like a much longer time, then I'm just gonna go to the court of the clerk and tell her to just make me a payment plan or something to show that, because I'm still gonna have to talk to the judge for that anyway. So is what she gonna say. So I might just say reschedule it or something, show that my ass was here. Because y'all ain't, what you trying to do is waste my time and distract me, and you think I don't know, but it's gonna backfire on y'all ass, because I'm documenting everything you doing, and I'm being bold and putting straight up names and information and showing all the stuff that's going on. So yeah, I think that's it, y'all. I think I talked enough. This is enough for this almost, well, I was about to say 30-minute video. But I was starting to get downloaded messages, so I paused for a moment in my mind. And then it dawned on me about something that happened in Beaverton, on that street where that motorcycle cop stopped me, like a little bit of closer ahead. They knew I was going to that location. That's why they had those two motorcycle cops standing there on the side of the building, hiding backwards. And let's see, exit 68, I believe. Anyways, I was gonna put them on blast where their little locations are, but they never once again hid on the opposite side of the highway no more. After I made a video talking about them trying to now park the car, like parallel park the car behind this little brick stone wall and hide on the opposite side than the side that they usually hide, which is usually on the left side. But they were just doing that for me. Now I know. And plus they had cars lined up in various different locations along the freeway that I was traveling that had their hazard lights on. It was more lights than usual, and it was because I saw that why I wasn't speeding, because that, to me, that was an intuitive sign that the police was waiting to stop me at some point. And by them gangstalking, flashing their lights, it actually helped me to think. It reminded me, it's like it helped give me a sign that y'all mugs is waiting to try to do some shit. So I was already making sure I wasn't even nowhere near speeding. And since they could not catch me speeding, that's why they know they finding other reasons to try to stop me and pull me over. Because it used to be speeding back then when I was younger.